I wasn't planning to check on her. Truthfully, I was half asleep myself, standing in the kitchen at 1 a.m., staring at the microwave clock as if it might explain why I felt so restless. The house was quiet in the way it only gets after midnight. No traffic, no distant barking dogs, just the low hum of the refrigerator and the occasional creak of old wood settling. That's when I noticed it. The faint strip of light coming from under my daughter's bedroom door. My heart tightened. I told myself it was nothing. She was 17, final exams were coming up. She stayed up late sometimes, especially lately. Still, something felt off. The light wasn't flickering like a lamp or shifting like a TV screen. It was steady, cold, blue. Phone light. I walked down the hallway, every step slower than the last. I didn't want to be that parent, the one who hovered, who invaded privacy, but the closer I got, the more uneasy I felt. I knocked once softly. No answer. I knocked again louder. Zara, I whispered. Still nothing. I gently pushed the door open. She was slumped over her desk, her head resting on her forearm, dark hair spilling across scattered notebooks and loose papers. A pen lay near her fingers, ink dried mid-sentence on an open page. She was asleep or unconscious. My chest tightened. Zara, I said, stepping inside. Hey, wake up. She didn't move. Panic surged through me, sharp and sudden. I rushed forward, touching her shoulder. She stirred slightly, murmuring something unintelligible, then sank back into sleep. Relief washed over me, but it lasted less than a second. Because that's when I saw her phone. It was still in her hand. The screen was lit. And what I saw froze me in place. At first, my mind refused to process it. The screen showed a chat window, not Instagram, not WhatsApp, something darker. An app I didn't recognize with a black interface and red text. At the top was a username I didn't know. Below it, message after message. You didn't tell anyone, right? You promised. If you do, you know what happens. My stomach dropped. I didn't mean to read more, I swear I didn't, but my eyes moved on their own. I'm scared. Please just stop. You said it would be over. My hands began to shake. This wasn't teenage drama, this wasn't a fight with a friend, this was fear raw and unmistakable. I gently took the phone from her hand, my fingers numb. The screen dimmed for a second, then lit up again as a new message came through. We're meeting tomorrow, same place, don't be late. A chill ran through me so intense it made my knees weak. Meeting who? Same place where? I looked at my daughter's face. In sleep, she looked younger than 17, softer, vulnerable. A faint crease sat between her brows, as if even unconscious she couldn't fully relax. What had she gotten herself into? Or worse, what had someone pulled her into? I didn't sleep that night. I sat on the edge of her bed, watching her breathe, listening to every rise and fall of her chest like it was the only thing anchoring me to sanity. At dawn, when sunlight crept through the curtains, she finally stirred. Dad, she murmured, eyes fluttering open. Why are you here? I didn't answer right away. Zara, I said carefully, we need to talk. She sat up slowly, then noticed her phone on the nightstand, her face drained of color. Did you, her voice cracked, did you look at it? Yes, I said gently, I did. She looked away, shame and fear washing over her face in waves. I'm sorry, she whispered, I didn't want you to know. My heart broke at those words. Know what? I asked. That you're scared, that someone is threatening you. Zara, why didn't you come to me? Tears spilled down her cheeks. Because I thought I could handle it, she said, and because they told me if I told anyone you'd get hurt. The room went very still. Who is they? I asked, my voice dangerously calm. She hesitated. Then she spoke a name I never expected. Her teacher. I felt like the floor had dropped out from under me. No, I said immediately, that's not possible. I swear, she said, her hands trembling. It started months ago. He noticed I stayed late after school. He offered extra help, said I was talented. I clenched my fists so hard my nails dug into my palms. At first it was just messages about assignments, she continued. Then personal stuff, compliments. He said I was mature for my age. I knew where this was going. And when you tried to stop, I asked. She swallowed. He said no one would believe me, that he had screenshots, that if I told anyone he'd ruin you. ruin mom, ruin everything. Rage flooded my veins, hot and blinding. I wanted to drive straight to the school and tear the doors off the building with my bare hands. But I forced myself to breathe. Zara, I said softly, listen to me, none of this is your fault, not 1 second of it. She nodded, but I could tell she didn't fully believe me. Victims rarely do. What was the meeting? I asked. She hesitated again. He said he wanted to talk things through, said it would be the last time. I stood up. No, I said firmly, there will be no meeting, not like that. She looked up at me, fear flickering in her eyes. Dad, please, you don't understand, I understand enough, I said, and I promise you something right now, you will never face this alone again. That morning I called in sick to work. By noon, we were sitting in a small office at the police station, the air heavy with tension and quiet determination. Zara clutched my hand as she spoke, her voice shaking but steady enough to be heard. The officer listened carefully, asked gentle questions, took notes. Then he looked at me and said words I will never forget. You did the right thing coming here. An investigation began immediately. By the end of the week, the teacher was suspended. By the end of the month, he was arrested. The messages on Zara's phone, every threat, every manipulation became evidence. The trial took longer, healing took even longer than that. Some nights, Zara still wakes up from nightmares. Some days, she's quiet in ways that worry me, but she's getting stronger, braver, more herself again. And sometimes, late at night, when I pass her room and see the light off, I pause. I remember that blue glow under the door. I remember the moment my world shifted forever. And I remind myself of one thing. I almost didn't check on her that night. Almost. If I hadn't, if I'd gone straight to bed, if I'd ignored that uneasy feeling, my daughter might still be trapped in silence. So if there's one thing I've learned, it's this. When something feels wrong, don't ignore it. And if you ever find your child passed out at their desk at 1 a.m., their phone glowing in the dark, don't look away. It might be the moment that saves their life.